Hey, everybody, and welcome to the last Tech Friday of the year. Yay!
Hi.
Oh, I got confetti for this. Confetti! Yay! And an air horn. Yeah!
I can't hear it and I can't see it because can you imagine if the confetti just got everywhere in your actual room? Like,
Oh,
you'd
that'd
never
be
do
annoying.
redemptions again. No.
No.
Yeah, as a bonus later on, I will tell you what DC said during the countdown before we went live. But you'll have to DM me on Discord for that. Nice try, though.
Yeah, you know. Oh, hey, everyone. Welcome to this Tech Friday, last one of the year. And I'm DC. I'm your host today. You can find all my stuff over at dclasair.com. Let me hit a button. There you go. Link in chat. You can see it on screen. Go there. All the things. And today, I have a fantastic guest in one urban bohemian, Brian.
Hi there. I'm Brian, and I just get the email that I needed from my boss so I can actually close my laptop and truly enjoy this stream today. Hi, I'm Brian, aka Urban Bohemian. I am a variety streamer, blogger, TTRPG performer, and sometimes DM, and I am also an early adopter, which I've kind of gotten over, but it's probably why DC invites me on these things.
All right. And we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Moonbeam. So hello on all three of those platforms. Wherever you're watching, glad you can. I will be periodically checking over this way to look at the Moonbeam chat, just so I don't miss anything from anybody. If you're brand new here, what we do is we run through the week's tech news, but as the week kind of winds down, it kind of dies down a bit. So, year in review, yeah. The kind of the neat things that came up over 2024 in the world of tech, because we need to celebrate neat things on occasion, especially this year.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I hate year in review stuff, especially with our new perception of time, especially like after we're like days don't feel like they pass. So I love a good 2024, like, oh, what have I done? And when DC asked me, I was like, oh, did I actually add anything new to my setup this year? And I struggled. I don't think I did. I mean, I saw a lot of fun things come out that I don't necessarily need, but we'll keep an eye on. But yeah, it's nice to kind of celebrate. It sucks it's the last Friday of 2024. Like, get those Friday memes out now, because that's it. After this, it's 2025, and we'll all forget to write the new date on our checks, if you remember writing checks.
Exactly. Oh, I need to adjust something live a second.
So yeah, we have put together DC using Notion. Also, if you haven't seen DC's Notion templates, he's talked about them before on Tech Fridays. You definitely should take a look at them. But we do have a few links up. We've got some categories that we will do the rundown of. As I mentioned on social media, and I know DC mentions every week, if you have questions, feel free to pop those in chat. Generally, today would be a good day to have questions about tech, about stuff that we looked at or saw or enjoyed using in 2024, any enhancements to our streams, or maybe thoughts about 2025. Or you could just ask our thoughts on things in the TTRPG space. That would also be fine. I can't show off my magic cards because I haven't taken them out of the box, but DC probably can show his off. So there, questions about that too. Just,
Yeah, that's one thing I did this year. I got Commander deck. I still don't know how to play. I haven't read the rules yet.
I, because of the kindness of a friend, am now the proud possessor of 4 Commander decks, all Doctor Who themed. So
awesome!
Yeah, I will eventually be able to play them at some point. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's been an interesting year for trying to dip into like one new hobby, and we'll see how that goes in 2025.
Yeah. All right. So let's begin. First up is, I think, probably one of the more important things that happened this year, and as far as streaming goes, is multi-streaming. Now, it wasn't that long ago that Twitch said, no, you can't multi-stream while you're live to other platforms. They let that go. And then this year we have two plugins for OBS that will allow you to multi-stream. And we're going to talk about one of them. That is the Atom multi-stream plugin, which I really like.
It's being used right now, isn't it?
It's being used right this minute. So the only thing that really holds back you from multi-streaming out is going to be your internet speed. So if you don't have the internet speed, you're going to look for something like Restream, or I would recommend using Caster Labs because they have a very good deal going on. They're multi-streaming. They're like $4 a month or something, maybe less than that. So if you need other internet to multi-stream, look at them. But if you can, use the Atom multi-stream tool because it lets you customize the resolutions and the bit rates per stream, and you don't usually get that with a multi-streaming service. And
it's kind of ridiculous. No, it's kind of ridiculous the amount of control that this now gives you. I mean, first off, the ease. It is very easy. I mean, I won't say it's super easy. Like, you should definitely watch either a walkthrough or read a walkthrough so you understand that you set your stream up once and then how it then takes that signal and essentially it's then sending it to the other services. But it really was a game changer because like we kept being told as creators, you should have your content on multiple platforms. So, that is YouTube and TikTok. Well, okay, maybe not TikTok for another few weeks, but we'll see. And Twitch said no until a streamer with a large enough profile said, well, I want to stream elsewhere. And Twitch suddenly said, yeah, I guess we could let people multi-stream. That'll be fine. But it's a very easy setup. If you already see your CPU percentage fairly low, like less than 20 or 15% on OBS when you're running it, you shouldn't have too much of a problem using the Atom multi-stream plugin to send to multiple services.
Yeah, I've been using it, I don't know, probably, well, it's only been out like a month, so I've been using it a month or two. I've been using it that long. And it's really fantastic. And they even have presets. So if you want to stream vertically to YouTube, you can do that and set it up. That's still a pain, though, and we'll get to that in a moment. Because I do have to go to each service and tag it and fill out the stream name. And in YouTube, it's providing a thumbnail. I try to make thumbnails. Sometimes I say no and just use my logo as the YouTube thumbnail stream. But every unique that's the process Monday through Friday for me, is setting all those up per stream, the titles, the tags, everything. And you just have to have time to do that. And to vertical stream on YouTube is a pain because you can't just set up a thing. You need to schedule both streams, a horizontal and a vertical, and that is a big pain point right now for do that. And that's why I stopped doing it. I did it once, and then I'm like, it's just too much time for not a lot of, feedback. So
I mean, if you're a planner, and I would definitely, I used to be much better at planning out my streams during the week. So I would know what I was playing. I would have my key art, all those things cut down. If you're the kind of person who once a week can say, okay, I'm going to go to Canva or whatever your suite of choice is and make all of my thumbnails. I'm going to have an idea of all of my titles. That's great. I would suggest, though, as DC mentioned, if you're trying to do multiple streams on YouTube, it can be a pain. So if you're going to start with multi-streaming, start by just doing your regular landscape aspect stream, send it over there and see how that feels, especially because you'll also need a little practice monitoring chat for both platforms, which if we're using StreamerBot, you can now do. If you're moving to other platforms, it doesn't make it as easy. I know grabbing people essentially will have just separate windows open with the chats that they need to see. But yeah, the idea that to then do, like using, I think, actually, I'm going to ask DC because I have not looked at the vertical plugin for a while. Does the multi-stream plugin now rely on still the vertical scenes you've set up, or have they baked that into the multi-stream plugin yet?
It is not baked into the multi-stream yet.
Okay.
At least as far as I know. There were updates to it, just like yesterday or something like that. I have not updated these programs, so I'm not exactly sure, but as of, a few days ago, yeah.
So yeah, if you're gonna do the YouTube vertical, and by that point you may as well like boost your TikTok account, boost your Instagram, and I mean Facebook, but whatever. Instagram is pretty much Facebook. Then boost those so you can also stream live. But yeah, you'll want to also use the Atom vertical plugin so you can set up your vertical scene, get all the things. That is more work. If you are becoming a very focused and dedicated creator, then yes, you need to sit down, plan it, and do the work. I personally am lazy, so I'm definitely not doing any of that.
And there is one thing in multi-streaming that kind of keeping the eye on. It's in beta now. It's Stream Element, so, but they,
Okay, okay, there is nothing wrong with an easy button. Okay, we all saw the Staples commercials while Staples still existed. There's nothing wrong with an easy button. If they're able to bake multi-streaming into an application, then, and it works for you, use it. That's like the number one thing. Make there be no barriers to entry on this. It's just you're not going to find any fans of Stream Elements on this stream.
No. But they are making a multi-stream thing. And the one video I've seen on it, it looks like it will make it a lot easier to do that vertical stream on YouTube. And if that's the case, well, then that's probably going to be the tool to use. And hello, welcome on in. What would you recommend if not Stream Elements? So I use StreamerBot. There is a little more of a learning curve there, but StreamerBot basically runs my stream. And, I watch videos on how to use it. StreamerBot's great for that type of stuff. You can make cheers and awards and bits customizable. Various people have wrote plugins for this.
And I appreciate that. The Stream Elements Live OBS plugin is, if you have everything set up in Stream Elements, sorry, because Streamlabs is a whole other thing. But if you have everything set up in Stream Elements, your alerts, your notifications, it's great. It's something, I personally don't look at OBS when I stream, so having the additional panels doesn't help me at all. So that's why I'm not a Stream Elements person. However, again, even on their website, when you go to that link, they say minimal effort, and I am a fan of minimal effort. So by all means, if it works for you. However, I will also say if you want a little bit more control and customization, and you're willing to do a little bit of learning or watch a few tutorials or ask questions of, I don't know where DC is on the screen, but ask questions of people like us who have done these things. Yeah, definitely try using things like StreamerBot, MixItUpBot. I think StreamerBot and MixItUpBot are probably my favorites, but again, they are not necessarily user-friendly from a UI UX perspective.
And other third-party bot we might as well mention, because we've already talked about Atom, who does vertical and multi-stream. Atom is their own, has their own bot as well. And
oh, nice.
yeah, and so these bots, that the bots that I've seen are, basically they have two UXs. You're either kind of like StreamerBot or you're kind of like the Atom Mix It Up bot, and it's one of those two. And so if you learn one, you're kind of going to have an idea for another one if it looks similar. Like they just kind of work the same. So if you find if you like Atom or something about it doesn't work, and then you look at Mix It Up and go, oh no, I kind of like this feature, Mix It Up better. By all means, this channel we talk about StreamerBot a lot, but I because it's my favorite. But I'll be happy to look up or point you in a direction for other resources for other bots should you choose to use one of them. Mix It Up is also a pretty good bot option, slightly less powerful than, I take it you're putting in streamer.bot there, Tom, but better UI.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I would suggest, yeah, if you're curious about if you're interested in diving into streamer.bot, we're going to discuss that a little bit. We're going to discuss some help for that a little bit later on, but I would also say go over the past Tech Fridays because StreamerBot has come up more than a few times. So I think the easiest way would be to go to DC Lasair's YouTube channel because it's a lot easier to find those keywords on that. And yeah, look over when they release new stuff because you're a supporter, so you get the alpha builds, right?
I'm sorry.
Of StreamerBot.
StreamerBot.
The pre.
Oh no, I just used the beta. I don't.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, if you check out those former YouTube videos and basically all the former Tech Fridays, StreamerBot comes up a lot, and there's a good reason for it. It's very powerful. It can be set up as a nice little basic simple bot to watch stuff, but once you start kind of pulling back the curtain on what it can do, you find yourself. I always say you should have a web-based bot and a local bot. And my web-based bot is Nightbot. It's simple, it's easy, it works with Twitch. Unfortunately, it can only work with either Twitch or YouTube. You have to pick one. So it's nice to have a local bot that is able to do more of those things. And I found over time, I'm pulling more functions out of Nightbot. I'm putting them in StreamerBot.
Yeah, same. I use mainly StreamerBot as mentioned and SiriBot because SiriBot is amazing at just
incredible
keeping your chat clean. Please stop talking about pulling things out of your bot. Look.
I will not. Okay. I will not. As I've already stated, there's some thoughts about 2025 and how, no, you know what? That's for Blue Sky. Go to my Blue Sky. It's, yeah, let's just do that.
Do the things. I mean, this whole stream I'm pulling out of a bot, so.
I'm sorry. These were way less chaotic before DC and I actually met in person. I just want to say, they were way less chaotic.
All right. Any other thoughts on multi-streaming, or we will go on to the next topic here?
No, just I'm curious as we move into 2025 and we see what's going to happen with especially the vertical video platforms. If we're going to lose TikTok in the US or it's going to get sold in the US, everyone is going to be aiming at making their content portable to go to another platform. And I've already seen some creators talk about having to restart on other platforms and how hard it is. So if you are thinking about content creation and strategies for 2025, really think about where you're already posting your stuff. If you want to do multi-streaming of your landscape video, the Atom plugin makes it very easy. If you want to start doing multi-streaming of your vertical video, I would look into the vertical plugin. It's just, again, your strategy is going to you're going to sit down and have to plan it for a minute because it's a bigger setup. It is more streams and more upstream. Upstream is the word I'm looking for, coming out of your system, and it can be a lot more from an attention span point. Is you're then like the person who's in the newsroom with like 5 different screens of chat trying to like process them all while also being engaging and entertaining on camera, which we know none of us are, so it's fine.
Thank you all for being here, by the way. All right, next up, I wanted to talk about webcams and specifically having multiple webcams because you do get a little more dynamic stream if you have another camera set up. You got to position it well, make sure the lighting. Thank you, Rex. Appreciate that. And one of the things you'll see about is multicam setups. And usually you're going to want the same camera. So if you have one fancy camera, you're going to be spending that again on another fancy camera. You have to buy some bulky interface to make the usually HDMI signal go into, and then connect that to your computer. And this could cost you thousands of dollars. Now, I found a solution that's less expensive, but still, it's a lot of money. Right? So, OBSBot makes these PTZ cameras, and I've talked about PTZ cameras before. That stands for pan tilt zoom, and they automatically follow you around, right? There's the Insta360 link, and OBSBot makes these tiny ones that are great. Another thing they did, though, was they made a 3-in-1 USB hub. So you could connect 3 of these together, put them into your computer, or like I could connect them to my MacBook Air and then use something to put that signal into my main PC. And suddenly you have 3 cameras. Or if you're paying full price, these are all less right now for the holidays. If you were to pay full price for everything, it would be about a little over $600, not including shipping and handling and tax and all that. And so that's probably the least expensive way you're going to be able to get multiple cameras in. Now, the 3-in-1 USB hub works because it has a special port for or not a special port, but an extra port purpose-built because you can get a OBSBot Tiny 2 with a remote. And you get one of those, you get the remote, and then you can control the cameras with the remote. Or you can plug them into your Stream Deck and have the Stream Deck control them. And so for over $600, you can get, a 3-camera setup. And there's not much else that competes with that. And if you wanted to save even more, you could probably look at the OBSBot 3-in-1 USB hub and get a powered hub that has the same power output to the cameras as this one does, and save yourself a little money on that. But yeah, so you definitely need an OBSBot Tiny 2 package that comes with the remote, then 2 more OBSBot Tiny 2s, and you can get, if they have a more expensive camera called the OBSBot Tail Air, and they're coming out with a Tail Air 2, and this just works wirelessly. It just connects, so you could have 4 cameras if you wanted to. But that is, the 2 is up for pre-orders, and it's going to be like $1,000. So that is kind of way out of the price range. I mean, even the setup I'm talking about is out of price range for most. But if you want multi-set, get them. And if you don't need 3 cameras, you'll save yourself like $200 every camera you subtract. So if you just want to add 2 or just the 1, it's an amazing little setup to use. And it's something I'll be thinking about. And I think, just having that extra camera in, if it's just you on stream, having one more angle to shoot to creates a little more visual interest.
Mm-hmm. It's also nice if you are somebody who has anything going on. If you're journaling and you actually need like a top-down camera, if you have a pet and you want to have like an extra pet camera. Now, PTZ may not be great for pets because it may actually have trouble locking in on them. But I think the power of the 3-in-1 hub, they've solved a problem that a lot of people have, which is you can just connect as many webcams to your computer as you want. what you run into is you run into a problem of the signal being shared nicely and equally. The power, you definitely need power because it's all of a sudden a drain with all of these potentially USB-C devices. So the fact that it all works, and if if you feel like you have a need for this, it all works, and they're just selling that package. Again, it's ease. It's not necessarily a great price tag, but it is an easy setup.
Right? Yeah, and everything else that I've looked at is going to cost you a lot. If you get a fancy camera, you got a mirrorless camera, or you're going to kind of want your images to look the same. So if you have a mirrorless camera and then a webcam, that's going to look way different, and they're going to take a lot of work color matching, which is a whole nother thing. Uh, and I want to get into, and you would also have the expense of getting a box. You need something, a thing to take the signal from that mirrorless camera, and it's usually going to be an HDMI. You got to put it into this box, and then attach another wire to go into your computer, and then you control the cameras via these boxes. But these are expensive too. Like the Rode introduced this year, the Rode, what do they call it? The video something?
Oh,
Rode.
you mentioned this.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, to be able to do, I mean, yes, obviously, an HDMI pass through that is also capable. I mean, because usually you see switchers, so you're getting one signal at a time, which for a lot of camera effects, if you're live, is all you really need. But you do want regardless of whether it's USB cameras coming in or HDMI, like cam links or just direct, you want something that can handle all three of those signals at the same time, and that's going to be, as DC said, Rode came out with specialized hardware for that. You're going to find it elsewhere as well. I guarantee you, everything that is mentioned, that we mentioned with a name brand on it, you're going to find a lesser known name that's going to do just not the best job, but as good of a job when you go hunting. But yeah, it's really about, for me, the multiple camera setup is nice. If I'm cooking, I can have another camera trained. So for me, it doesn't necessarily have to have all the cameras at the same quality. Like we always worry about this being the highest quality camera, and everything else you just kind of worry about the details as you go. It's just one of those things where I really tell people, like streaming in general, be really, really sure this is what you want to do. Have an idea of how you want to use these things, because that is a large front loaded investment for something that you can no longer afford to say after a week, it's not working. Because, I mean, you can probably resell the stuff, but you really want to make sure that you're ready to do some interesting effects. Some, like if you're a gunpla builder or a Lego person or artist, you want a second camera to be able to look at a different thing. Or if if your computer setup area is such where, like you have a standing or a sitting area that's elsewhere, you just want one third camera that's just not where you are, and you just want to be somewhere else for a second. It's nice. It's just costly. It's really costly.
And the Rode product is called the Rodecaster Video. Really easy name.
They don't mess around. Rode
No.
just is like, what do you want? And we just called it that. There it is.
Yeah. And if you are looking into this and you want something a little less powerful, or you can go the more expensive route too. Blackmagic Design is really the people that
Ooh.
sort of got this technology out there for people like us to, reasonably afford it, like a small business. But we can afford it too, as their thing is, depending what one you get, you can get one for, I don't know, $400, something like that.
It's fine.
And yeah, but they also have big, huge ones that call many thousands of dollars too. And so
Yes.
ObSpot coming in and kind of sneaking this in on everyone, because I haven't really seen anyone talk about it or the possibilities, and it does seem like ObSpot themselves talks about it, unless I'm just not watching a lot of their videos.
They don't have a big media push. I have
Yeah.
not seen them do a big advertising push. But yeah, as was mentioned in the channel, you could have a multicam setup for a studio shoot, but if you don't need the Black Magic level, like you're not trying to make a podcast studio with Black Magic level tech, you just want something smaller. Um, I mean, heck, even if you actually, if you're streaming your home board game and tabletop group and you just want to have like 3 different angles that you can have all at the same time, that also works. It's great. It's just, yeah, definitely do whatever is going to be the most cost efficient for your needs.
Yeah. And
Which feels like common sense, but
but
capitalism wants you to think otherwise.
and I try to present multiple options on the channel, even if some I don't like. Stream elements. uh, we'll mention the Logitech Mevo. These are, I mean, I've seen some streamers with these. These are neat. The 3-pack is $1,000, but they're wireless, and I've seen them work brilliantly. For quite a few people. Oh, I missed that.
So
I
the
didn't
thing
get all
about
that
the
late.
Mevo Cam, yeah, DC, get that. The
I
thing about
missed
the
an H.
Mevos, Logitech actually sent me out a 3-pack of these, and they are they're very much advertised for, if you're doing a multicam. I would say streaming in the way that most people think of it in terms of a Twitch streamer, it might not be the best thing. They do work. They will work wirelessly through a mobile app. Actually, mobile apps are the best way to use these. You can use them through a computer, but I have found that the computer connections will only connect to one camera at a time, which makes it feel kind of pointless. But mobile apps are able to bring in all 3, so you actually have a miniature studio while you're having all 3 cameras running. And what I find is the most uses of these are people who record their church services, they record their local sports games. I don't see a lot of people using these to stream. And the reason for that is when you stream, you're generally using OBS or similar on a Windows or a Mac. To do that, you have to create NDI connections, and NDI is it's just another way of transmitting transmitting information over the internet. You have to create an NDI connection, and each of these individual cameras can individually connect to NDI. So the fun of that is if DC had a Mevo camera and I had a Mevo camera, he could give me his address and I could have my Mevo camera immediately transmit whatever's going on here to him across the country. That's great. You don't necessarily need that kind of power in your house when you're streaming from one room. And they're finicky. I will say again, as somebody who's had hands on, they are a little bit finicky. There is a bit of a curve to using them. Some people can get it flawlessly done right out of the box, and others, like me, get it to work once and then they try again and not so much. However, if you're looking for for basically cameras from one brand that will connect to each other, and they have their own microphones, so but you're able to plug in an external microphone. They actually have SD card slots, so you can record directly from the devices. So if you're somebody who is doing more of a multi-studio recording kind of feel and you want to edit all of that later on, you're able to get like synced video from all 3 of the devices. For those, it's great. For multiple cam streaming, I would not necessarily recommend the Start 3-pack because it is extremely pricey. I think it's $1,000, and that's not also covering the fact that you have to make sure the cameras stay powered and charged up and SD cards, and it's a lot. So yeah, it can be a lot.
All right. Yeah, thank you for that insight on the camera.
I'll
But
go
yeah,
get them. They got dust on them somewhere around here. I mean,
yeah,
I like them. They're great and they work. It's just for For a setup that needs to be more flexible and portable, they're
Hmm.
not, because they have a very finicky way that they always need to maintain being set up. And sometimes for me, who knows a lot about tech, it still is just out of reach to be able to get them consistently. So they are good. They are nice cameras. But again, at that price and for what they do, it's going to be more than the average like Twitch and YouTube streamer need.
Yeah,
Personal opinion.
yeah, we're definitely talking about some extras here, but these are things that kind of came out this year that have the potential to add a little extra to your stream if you have more than a little extra to, to spend on these things. But
Yeah,
uh,
I'm hoping that these these paved the way for this kind of technology as we move into the next year, for other people to look at this and say, okay, well, we can do that, but at a much more reasonable cost. Like, it would be nice just to buy a standard webcam. Like, we all love the Logitech, like, C920. It'd be awesome if somebody who just makes webcams says, oh, well, what about if you plug two of them into your computer? It automatically starts seeing them in the way that the OBS bots are. I hope that that happens in the coming year, because that will be a game changer for everybody, and it would have a much more reasonable price tag to it.
all right. Speaking of price tags, we're going to go into audio now, the final boss. And there were some developments. I'm mainly going to be talking about Rode this year because they did a couple of interesting things. The first thing is their portable mics. Now, I've seen a bunch of portable mics crop up this year. Just mics you can plug in. You have a dongle, you plug that into your phone, and you have a couple mics that you clip onto somebody and wear and go. And they're the Rode Wireless Micro. It's only $150, and it's such a great solution. The mics look good. They're kind of this rectangular shape. You can clip them with a magnet or a clip. You get, I mean, Rode is known for being an audio company, and I've watched some videos with the audio, and it sounds real good. Even with these little mics, uh, they sound good, they look good, and if you do a podcast or something, you plug in a little thing to the bottom of your phone. You can get one that's either USB or Lightning port for older iPhones, or Thunderbolt. Sorry, is that Thunderbolt? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a whole naming
Thunderbolt,
thing.
yeah,
That's fine.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can get either one for your phone. That's the largest point here. You plug that in. You they work over Bluetooth. They go, hey, we have a mic here, but they kind of prioritize that signal so you don't get a interference from other things. And yeah, suddenly you have a two-person podcast going wherever you're at. Or if you're just traveling around, you're the single person outside and you want a good microphone that isn't your phone mic.
Mm-hmm.
That's another option.
Yeah, I definitely have my eye on the wireless micro. I have tested. Let's see. People may remember this. They may not. I can't remember. I can't even remember how long ago it was. But Razer tried to come out with a lapel mic, and they were advertising the same kind of thing. Like, people who do, IRL streams, they do interviews, they do that weird thing where apparently people on TikTok can just walk up to somebody and shove a microphone in their face and ask them a random question, whatever. But they neglected to understand that mobile devices will not prioritize external microphones. Some of them won't even see it. So Rode wisely said, okay, well, I'm going to put the connector directly into the phone, so it has no choice but to see that mic. So that's brilliant. And yeah, I have seen people using these, especially on TikTok, mostly just for solo content. Like, you'll see them have it clipped on somewhere, you'll see them have the little fuzzy thing. And it sounds great, and clearly isn't, since the audio goes directly to the video, you're not necessarily having to edit it separately. So yeah, I'm very curious about these. I would love to know if, anyone has used them in a noisy environment. Like, was anyone using these on the floor at PAX Unplugged to try to interview somebody, and how did it handle that? But yeah, I really think the wireless micro, it's gonna go on my wish list. I currently don't have an actual justification for it just yet, but it's still gonna go on my wish list.
Right? Uh, and the uh, the wireless micro was the latest thing they did this year, and it was really good. But I think it was earlier this year, they also updated the wireless ME and the wireless Go, and these are square, and they look kind of weird to me just because I'm used to mics being long, thin things or more like little capsules. But these are, like actual little squares that you connect up.
Yeah, you just
Eh,
chunk it on. It's great.
Yeah. But again, I've heard these; they sound good. Now the bonus in my edge of the world is since I have a Rodecaster Duo, I could walk around with one of these on, and it transmits its signal right to the Rodecaster Duo, and so I could easily, when I do my Gun Plus streams, I could just have one mic on and walk from here over to the other side and not have this, switching of mics and have the different audio coming in because I have two different mics. And I'd maintain the same audio quality as I walk around.
Yeah,
And
maintaining that ecosystem. If you have the ecosystem of Rode, it's brilliant. Like that again, wish list, but don't need it, but still on my wish list.
and they have a lot in the Rode Wireless product line. They also introduced the Rode Wireless Go Generation 3. Comes up, and trying to look at this link.
These are adorable. Okay,
These.
like if you can get used to the square mic that you just clip on somewhere, the
Mhm.
Go Gen 3, same feeling. Unfortunately, like same feeling, and they're also clearly targeting certain types of vertical video creators with this because they have plans for it to come in a range of colors. So you'll be able to match outfits, areas, backgrounds, coordinate, etc. Those aren't available yet. So, like was it Henry Ford who said you can have any color as long as it's black? That's what you can get right now. But there are plans to make them a little more fashion friendly.
Yeah. Right now, uh, a 2-pack is what you can get for the Wireless Go Gen 3. They're $300. There's a lot of colors you can choose from right on the website. They all say join waitlist unless it's the black version, which you can add to cart right now. But they do promise just better audio support. So if you are looking at wireless mics, that might be a way to go. And they do have a range of products. So if you don't want to spend quite that much and you think a wireless mic would help you out and you're kind of in that Rode ecosystem, take a look at their other offerings. Now, there are other companies out there that do wireless mics that sound pretty good as well. I think DJI, is that right?
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
Uh, I'll look it up when.
Okay. And I think that, of what we've
Yeah.
been talking about, the easiest thing for anyone, especially if you just want a quick audio setting and go, is to use something similar to the wireless micro that hooks directly into the small device you're using to take to use your video. Other things are you're already used to editing your video and your audio separately and putting them together and doing things because that's going to be a little more work. Or if you're lucky enough to have a producer who can do that for you. Did you find the other ones you were thinking of?
Yeah, the DJI Mic Mini. They do the same thing. I've
Oh,
heard, I've seen a couple videos with these. They have good results as well. They're the tiny squares, but
oh yeah.
they you can get some good sound out of them. So if you want to walk around and you don't want to wear a big headset microphone thing, this might also be an option for you as well. But where there's some wireless headsets and microphones, they tend to be more expensive than these, but you can get ones that sound really great too if you want the whole headset mic thing. So,
Yeah, this is, I mean, again, for people who are, I would say, your normal average streamer who are, your setup is a computer camera and games, you probably don't need this. But if you're looking to, I would say, especially for if you're doing stuff in a different room that's not your normal setup, if you're doing any kind of model building, if you're doing cooking, if you're doing fitness, or if you decide to do like the IRL content, these are great because you're going to be capturing great audio, which, as we all know, is like the most important thing. You could have a gorgeous, gorgeous video, but if it sounds awful, no one's going to pay attention. So I like that these are entering the market. But again, as a primarily Twitch streamer myself, these are marketed for definitely a different consumer's use. Though again, if you're looking to get into that kind of on the spot, especially chatting, interviewing, I really like the Rode Wireless Micro and other similar devices that plug into your phone, immediately connect to the mic, and you're good to go. I love those.
Yeah, those are great. So I expect to see more along the lines as these. I mean, if companies keep making them, they must be popular enough to keep investing in. So next year we'll probably see more of these, and hopefully, and a little more. And depending what it is, maybe you can, save yourself some money in buying a microphone too. If you just have this, just have one of these for like $150 or so, and a wireless receiver you plug into your PC. Get good audio, and you don't need to spend a lot of money on fancy mics.
Yeah,
Might be an option.
I will also say, although I didn't mention it during when we talked about having multiple webcams, I didn't really discuss. We didn't discuss the way because we were looking at tech that came out, but we didn't discuss ways to use things you already have as multiple webcams. And one thing is there are a lot of ways to use your phone as a webcam in another location. This, adding one of these mics to it, would then also satisfy the problem of, well, I need another mic in that location. Well, now you don't, because your phone can your mobile phone, iPad, I don't know, anything that has a camera in it, pretty much, and connects to your local Wi-Fi, can pretty much send a video signal. So you could use that as a remote camera as well, and then you can decide if you actually need to upgrade to a $600 or $1,000 setup for those things. Probably not.
Probably not. No. All right, it's almost time for a break, so why don't we take that now? And when we come back, we'll talk about streaming platforms, one in particular, and some other things around that. So, yeah, take time. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes, somewhere in there. Stretch, hydrate, take your meds, whatever you need to do, and we'll see you then. Stay tuned. And Herb, Lady Luck 34 gave you disadvantage.
Mandy!
So do I pick that or do you pick that?
Nope,
Do you
your
pick when that
your
happens, or
next
just-
roll has disadvantage.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. But thank you. Thank you for donating to charity. You do so much to me. Okay.
Ah. Okay. Ooh, there's a chest down. Do you hear it? He actually has a beat and they're dancing. That's amazing. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Give it the name X-Toll to be sent to Sleeper Island. Simply go to X-Toll and speak this one's name, which is X-Toll. Cool. Well, so everyone, get ready. Get ready to sell 5 with me. Okay? Are you ready? 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 Get your hand all warmed up. You know, find that space. Find the space. Oh, there it is. There it is. Ready? Set. Sell 5. Yeah. Thank you all for joining me. This was great. Oh, don't be a stick in the mud. Let's just have some fun. Hey, do you like these? I call this one game. Game. I just have no words. Eat my fiery balls, you sack. And I'm listening. I don't know why I'm leaning in like I can. This helps me hear you better. And go back into stealth mode. Stealth mode. This is me sneaking. This is what I do when I sneak. And I get up on my tiptoes, like in a Flintstones cartoon. And tip, 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 tip. Then I'm hidden. You can't find me. No. Back up. Take my new service. Normally there's ice cream. This is you scream. Because it's your icy doom. Icy doom! That's all you get is icy doom. Icy doom. Look at that. Icy doom. Icy doom. Icy doom.
I fear I've tainted your good name and the legacy of your show. So thank you.
Glad to have you here for those things.
Appreciate it.
I needed a good taint. So
Good night, everybody. And on that note.
And on that. And with that, his size grows to 10 feet. His skin becomes a flaky crust. Skeletal wings of butter spread out from his back. And a rolling pin of necrotic energy forms in his hand.
Choices were made, and we respect them.
Wow.
The pie missiles go from 2 to 4. There's 2 below his arms, 2 above.
Tyrion just turns to Punk and says, "I did warn you."
Question.
Yes.
Does this count as a humanoid dying?
No.
Just changing form. Dagnabbit, okay.
This was his magical girl transformation sequence. So.
Oh.
We open slowly to just not get it everywhere. So, expectations. Probably not going to be too bad. If it's horrible, you'll all be really amused. So somehow,
Do not like Tyrion. So yep, that is another fail.
you take 3 points of burning custard damage.
Little did you know that Tyrion actually has resistance to burning custard damage.
Specifically.
specifically that because of yes.
So I just see
yes.
him get sucked in a window on the top floor and disappear.
Yep.
I wouldn't be the first. Never mind. How much damage was that?
3
6,
points.
you said? 3? Thank
What is this? Oh, no. Nope. 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 And I say again, nope. Your little bouncy noises. You know what, butterflies? I can go twice as high, so suck it. Oh! Oh, there I go, blowing myself up again. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. Woo! Wow, way to vamp for time. Bat Tootsie? Let's see here. Okay, now I've made myself giggle. Or we're nearing 100,000, I should say. Ah! Ah! No! 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 Go away! Go away! No, you're ruining everything, giant baby head. $100,000! Woo! Okay, giant baby head, it's your job to stay over there.
This can go one or two ways.
I
You can
don't think
either
so.
put it
And
in-
he claps his hands, and he gets 2 pie plates float up on each of his shoulders, like
Oh my
shoulder
God, no.
missiles. And
Glad they say imagine cream pies
they
because
say
what I was
imagine
actually
cream
imagining was
pies.
dragons.
Yep.
I was imagining dragons.
I'm not
but no, it's
responsible
cream
for what
pies.
you think
Okay.
of when you see the term cream pies, but
Oh god.
Here
Not
we
late
are.
enough in the evening for that, you all.
Here we are.
Wow.
The sun might be going down in Chicago, but it is not after dark hours.
oh my, that's a bottle full of nope.
An arcane beast?
No, that's a bottle full of nope. Like a big heaping mound full of nope. No! Nope, 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 nope. Can I have my shield back, please? Thank you. We're gonna do the thing first. There's an easy way to end this, but I'm not doing that. We're suplexing the train. And welcome back, everybody. Good to see you here. Thanks for sticking around through the ads and our break. Hope you had time to stretch and all that. Appreciate you being here. And one thing that I completely forgot about, I don't know why, because I use their products every single day, even when I'm not streaming, is Elgato I've talked about their Stream Decks before and how much I absolutely love them. And out of all Elgato things, it's the thing I'm least likely to ever replace with anything. I mean, I even own both their virtual versions of the Stream Deck, which if you want,
you do love a Stream Deck. Like
Yeah.
a Stream Deck loves to see DC coming. Okay, like for real.
except for the new large thing that's like $1,000, I have no practical use for. I don't need that.
It doesn't mean you don't. That doesn't mean you don't want it. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Like,
this is true.
okay, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they came out with, because you had the Stream Deck Plus, and I like, you're the first person that I actually saw have one, and you mentioned it on several Tech Fridays. But they also released some add-ons, like you can Voltron like stuff now to the back of the Stream Deck Plus.
Yeah, they have a XLR interface. Elgato also has a big XLR dial thing you can get. But if you want to keep your setup simple, you can just get this plug-in, and it kind of forms the kickstand for your Stream Deck Plus. That's the one with the knobs. You all know I like knobs too. Yep, we'll just kind of let that lie there for a minute. But but it makes it easy to, if you have an XLR mic, to just plug it in and go, because the Elgato Wavelength software is really good at really good for separating out your audio and getting separate audio feeds. You know, one for your music, one for whatever software you're using. The Elgato Wavelength software is amazing, and you know, you can get it for a Stream Deck Plus is like 150, something like that. And so you get this software for free, basically, when you have the Stream Deck Plus. The Stream Deck Plus is $199.99, so $200. And if you already have an XLR microphone, you don't have to get one of the Elgato mics. You can just plug that into the back of the, you know, if you get the plug-in, which is sold separately, which increases the cost. But you can plug in this XLR and use the Wavelength software, and you have a full audio suite going for your streams at probably some of the lowest prices you're gonna see.
Yeah, I have the Wave XLR because I only needed just one thing to connect my XLR microphone. But I also noticed, like, if you're still shopping, and we're still in the end of the year, so, you know, maybe people still have some coupon codes out there. The XLR dock has a nice bundle, so you can get the Plus and the dock for like $300. And how much? Yeah. So you can currently get that together. And, you know, again, DC has talked about a lot of audio routing and audio mixing software. Elgato's Wavelength is pretty much at the top for me for ease of use. You know, I've others that sometimes do the lines with the routing sometimes kind of confuse me, but Wavelength is very simple. It's like, okay, where's your audio? Where's your games? Where's your music? Let's do that. There can be a little more setup on the back end, but if you split out your audio, you actually do have more options for video editing afterwards, especially if you're trying to steer clear of any potential DMCA copyright strikes. But yeah, the fact that they said, and I've really been wondering, I have to admit, how, like, when you got the Stream Deck Plus, DC, did you wonder, like, what that port in the back, like, was it for anything? Is it just a pass through right now?
It's no, it's just for the stand. It's you know, you plug in the power port, and that's it. It's just the USB plug goes to my we talked about having a powered USB hub. I have a 16 port powered USB hub down below me on my desk that all my Stream Decks go into.
All my Stream Decks, you heard that.
Yes.
All of them.
All three of them. Yes.
Hmm.
But I mean, the ones that are on the phones, they're Wi-Fi, so I don't have to.
But I thought it was a very, very clever thing to do because it doesn't super change the profile of the Stream Deck Plus. You just now have an XLR dock, so you've just if you're just looking for, again, when it comes to stream upgrades, audio is a wonderful place to start. Like thinking, oh, I can go one step better with this or that. And an XLR microphone is just one of those things that generally, although not always, because you should always listen, but generally an XLR mic is a great upgrade. But to do so, you have to have a mixer. You have to have something. You have to have something else. But if you already had a Stream Deck Plus, get the XLR dock and you're good to go. Because I am somebody who had to buy a mixer and all this, and I was like, wait, I just wanted a cool microphone. Why I got to do all this other stuff? So it's nice now to have that as you just plug it in the back and you're there.
And I'm going to plug one of my own things because I made a series of blog posts on audio routing. So
Yep.
go to dclasair.com/blog, and there are 3 posts of kind of an overview, audio routing right into OBS, because that's also one of the more recent updates to OBS is being able to separate all your audio channels out
So
just
good.
by the application, and you don't need anything else. And audio routing with the mixer. I do have a Rodecaster Duo. I have a very, very specific reasons for the Rodecaster Duo because I produce shows and things. I can accomplish a lot of stuff that other things just can't do. Like I can make a separate mix and give that to my client and say, okay, here's just the audio without the music. Here's, like right now for this conversation, I am technically using a submix and we're both on one channel. Normally my mic and Brian's thing would be on 2 different channels, but I can just go, no, put my mic on this channel as well and, send it off.
I understand the need for audio routing and I now get it a lot better. My expertise pretty much stopped at here's how to separate and split up my audio, and doing that was also one of the biggest reasons that I changed my video editing software. It's hard to say that word fast because when you bring in video and you're splitting out your audio to separate channels, you have access to everything you need. And with OBS, once you kind of learn it once, it's just like ingrained forever. However, I will say that if you ever have to upgrade your Wavelength software, then everything forgets what it is for a minute. So you have to set all that back up, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's neither here nor there, except multiple times a year when they update the software. In which case, I may have feelings about it. However, yes, being able to just smack an XLR, they call it a dock, but essentially it's just a mini mixer. And they're like, well, we already have the software. Why don't we just patch it into the Stream Deck? Perfect.
And while we're on the subject, I do want to point out software I've been using for, I think it's been out a couple of years now, but I use Logitech Mixline software for all my audio routing. And the nice thing about this, make sure you go into the option and it comes on when your computer comes on, or all your audio, it won't be there. But the nice thing about this is that it has kept all of where I route my audio to through Windows updates and all the other updates. It stayed solid. Like back when it was beta, I was using it, I had maybe 1 or 2 issues. They've since fixed those, and I don't worry about my audio as much anymore. Now, Discord, when Discord updates, it's always going to switch the audio around. But Mixline keeps it where it's going.
Oh, yeah. Discord loves to switch that. I will say, even though most everything is pretty solid, if you're ever concerned about losing your settings, every time something is due for an update or a patch, cancel the patch, export your profile, export your settings, just in case, and then go through with the patch. My Stream Deck had been sluggish for the longest time. I actually just exported the profile and then re-imported that same profile, and now it's snappy. I don't know why, because you can't do anything else with the Stream Deck. You can't like factory reset it. They're like, no, that's not how it works. But anyway, but the XLR dock was the one thing that they did. The other thing, speaking of additional ports and powered hubs and things, is they made a USB hub for the back of that sucker.
Yeah.
Which I was already down with the ports. I thought, oh, okay, the ports, that's cool. But then, of course, they put a freaking SD card reader in it. Because, of course, they did. Like, come on.
Yeah, they
Ridiculous.
there's an SD card reader. You get, how many is this? It looks like 6 USB hubs of various types.
Yeah, you like you get, I think you get, their site's so cute, except you got to scroll through everything.
Right.
So yeah, you get you get like a USB, you get 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C, card readers. You actually are able, I think the uplink is for computer data transfer and laptop charging. And then there's just the straight power that can also charge, like you can also charge stuff. So, you know, like if you just have a device that's hanging out, or like you have a laptop or a MacBook or something, and you're like, well, let me just plug it into the back of this and charge it. It's a very versatile thing that sits on your desk, which admittedly, it's not going to have the same effect as having like a 16 hub powered USB hub under your desk or mounted on top or something. But again, it's just one little extra added thing that if you're already traveling with your Stream Deck Plus, or you're already moving it around, now you've got like 4 more USB ports that you didn't have before. And it's just it's a very smart thing that they've done. And the USB hub, again, for a USB hub, it is pricey. But for a USB hub that connects seamlessly into the back of a Stream Deck Plus, $60. They could have taken more money. They really could have. So that seems a fair price.
And the other thing Elgato did this year was introduce their Neo lineup of products. And they are. They're all adorable. Agreed.
They're so cute.
Yeah. There's a Stream Deck Neo, so I'm kind of looking like, well, I could use one over there on my other on my Gun Plus stream. It's a Neo. It's cute. I would then have.
We could probably get you a little Gundams themed faceplate for it too.
Yeah.
Like,
see.
It kind of makes me think about when the Rode Wireless Go Gen 3, like how they have. Their plan is eventually to have them in all colors. Trying to, it's not really this year that it happened. It really was earlier during the pandemic, but all of the peripherals manufacturers were trying very hard to make people understand, oh, you're probably now working remotely and you probably need to look good and sound good on your Zoom calls and all that. So they started making things that were, more home based. They decided to make them in colors other than black, and they decided to make them very simple setups and simple plugins. And the Neo, the whole thing is about that. I will also say it's very clearly aimed at the cozy type of streamer that always feels like they have to have a nice little cute pastel aesthetic, which I mean, look, I'm a cozy streamer too by some accounts, but like I can't possibly have all that. But as a line, again, with everything you need is in these 4 devices, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and if you want to save yourself some money and you're just starting off, that's not a bad way to go, honestly.
Yeah, because Neo had like the game capture, the face cam, a wave, a Stream Deck, and a key light.
Yeah.
And like all of those things, again, they weren't okay. So again, all right. So again, if you're shopping and you're looking to save some money, the entire bundle's like $400, which again, for all of those things, is not too bad. if you have nothing, if you don't have anything at all, and you're like, my relative who is young wants to get into streaming and you want to be the best relative ever to give them a gift, then there you go.
Yep. And I will point out another Stream Deck related thing is that if you go get the app from either Android or iOS, they give you 6 buttons for free forever. And if all you need is 6 buttons and you like it, you don't even have to pay to unlock the app for the pro versions.
I will bring up a question that I always do when you mention this is, can one of the buttons be a folder?
Yes, one of the buttons can be a folder.
Do the math, kids.
Yep.
Especially now that Elgato has added, and this, you know what? It was probably one of their most effective updates, and it didn't get talked about enough, is they allowed you, when you take an action now with a button, to control that it will then go to, like, go up, go to another screen, go somewhere else, meaning you no longer have to dig through your recursive folders over and over again because you can just find a thing, push one. I love that. So especially for something that now they say, well, you get 6 buttons for free. Yeah, but if you bury a button within 5 folders and then you still press it and it brings you back to the home folder, done. So yeah, it's nice.
It's nice. You take an action, just got straight into D&D mode.
Well, I did say I was a sometimes DM, so everyone in chat roll for initiative.
16.
I'm sorry, that doesn't beat. I'm going to use a legendary action to go ahead and move to the top of the initiative order. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, there goes my defense ideas. Look, I wasn't expecting to have to cast shield so early.
I know, but this is actually a really nice segue. Because talking of TTRPGs and something that was aimed a lot at TTRP streamers, TTRPG streamers. Edit that last part out so I don't look like that silly. But it's a new streaming platform, which is something that people weren't truly expecting to emerge. We pretty much thought that the field was, well, no, I won't say that. When new streaming networks emerged, they generally vanished not too long after. So the promise and the hype felt good, but sometimes we weren't sure that it was going to happen. However, this one did, and it's called Moonbeam, and I think we're on it right now, aren't we?
Yes, we are on Moonbeam.
Hi, Moonbeam.
You had to support the Kickstarter at a certain level to be able to broadcast onto Moonbeam. And so I did that. And it has... There's a lot of promise here. So again, it's an alpha. So it's early days. There'll eventually be a beta and more people will come in and use it and everything like that. But it is kind of nice, really. You have kind of Discord chat channels in your own realm. You have your own separate chat. It's they have a bot, an internal bot that moderates the chat for you if you want. Eventually, they might let StreamerBot connect to it, through a API when they make it, and so far it flows easy. I can stream 1080p right now to it, 60 frames per second. That's the max right now, because again, they're testing all this stuff too in alpha. But I do like you have sort of Discord channels next to it, and so you can have various conversations going on in your what they call realm. And eventually, they have a way to support streamers, and you can divide up the way that money goes to people. So say you're on actual play, you have me as a producer, which of course you should. And you know, you have
Wow. I mean, I'm here to say that he's not wrong. However, that was bold.
that was bold. And you have you know, the cast members and everything. You can set up how much of those donations come into go to everybody, and work out the splits among you, and then you don't have to worry about it because that money just kind of comes in, automatically gets divided, and you're not sitting there with a calculator all day.
I think the main things to point out is, you know, like the main thing is that creators keep 100% of what they earn on Moonbeam, and the way they do that is going to be really familiar to anybody who's used an in-game store in a video game or a live service game, in that you buy the currency that you will use. So Moonbeam is able to make us, like, they make a margin off of that sale, and then everything that you have on the site after that is what you're able to use towards things. The other thing that was a big selling point for them, which I will admit gives me a little bit of a pause because I've not had a chance to see it really live in action, is their moderation tool. Their moderation tool does require a large language model, an LLM, and those things do tend to go more on the sentiment that is, like, the sentiment that they can sort of tell from a sentence, which can be really good for moderation, but it isn't going to be 100%. And, you know, LLMs are, they are computers that understand what words go together and look good together. They're not really, like, smart. So those are the only things that are really interesting to me. And that they don't have an exclusivity clause, which is good because not everybody can stream on them right now anyway. So.
So yes, JD Lady, it is more like bits instead of subscriptions. No, I think there's also a way to subscribe, but yeah, you're going to. The idea is, it's more like bits. Yeah, that's a great comparison there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can set up teams too. So, you know, you have a friend that streams, and you can put their stream in your realm. And then when someone watches and donates, some of that money can go to your realm and to them, because, you know, you're hosting them as well. And
Interesting.
yeah.
If I hear the word downstream, I'm going to riot. None of these. None of these.
None of those. No.
But no, they're taking a really good view on it. My only worry is the timing. I wonder if they're essentially getting out quickly enough to, and this is my own personal worry about online TTRPGs and actual plays, if the fervor and excitement for actual plays is kind of going down. Moonbeam was wanting to be like that place that they would really thrive, because yeah, these things cost money to put on, and most people do believe that we should be compensated for putting them on. I just worry that the connection is going to get missed, and once Moonbeam becomes, like, more public, I'm hoping that there will be more people excited to put on actual plays that will be able to run on the service, because that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's promise here, and so far it's pretty solid promise. You know, they are more open than other places are about what they're doing and how they would plan to accomplish these things, and that gives me a little more trust in what they're doing. And so hoping that it all continues on a kind of upward trajectory for them and everything, and for all of us, and things like that. And, you know, you gotta be I'm very careful around AI and things. And so they say that their LLM is just gonna sit in Moonbeam and just learn from Moonbeam things, and it's not taking from anywhere else. And as long as that promise keeps hold, I'm good.
I think, and that is the beauty. People who know about, AI, GPTs, and LLMs understand that it is perfectly possible to run and pay for your own LLM that is not resource, labor intensive, or environment intensive. So yeah, if it's sort of like just focused on Moonbeam content, I think that'll be great. And again, it's going to need a whole lot more A/B testing when people really like, when fandoms really get in there with their in jokes, or when, like you have that one buddy that comes into your chat and calls you a name. It's going to need to understand, oh wait, that's just them goofing around versus something that's, necessarily rude. But again, I'm just glad that I'm glad that this thing that seemed like it was just hype is actually happening and is actually out there. And I really look forward to the day that the doors open for more of us to start streaming on it.
Yeah. So far, it's looking good. And like I said, I'm looking at the the stream on Moonbeam right now, and it looks good. It's like I said, 1080p, but the quality's there. And yeah, I don't have any problems with that. And it was real easy to multi-stream too, because multi-streaming,
That's the thing.
You basically need a where their server is, where the video goes, and then you need a stream key saying, "Hey, I'm allowed to do this," and that's all I had to put into the ADA multi-stream thing. I just go, okay, they're only accepting 1080p streams, so I make sure that my settings align with what settings they accept right now, and then I just put in the stream key and where the video needs to go, and I hit the button and it went. So.
When you do set up a stream over there, do you control the details of the stream on Moonbeam? Like, can you change the title and things like that over there?
Yeah. I changed the title over there and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, that didn't hold. Oops. Well, I'll see what.
I have noticed that before. I wasn't going to make a big thing of it because it wasn't important, because you were successfully streaming to 3 platforms. But I was watching
Right.
once and I'm like, that's not. He'll get that later. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, they
yeah.
don't have VODs right now, so yeah, I'm not too worried about it. But
So yeah.
yeah, I did change the title. I just noticed that didn't hold. So Alpha, we got some little things here and there to work on.
Totally fine.
But the stream is pretty good. So yeah, I'm liking it. Anything else around platforms or anything we can?
No, nothing more than our previous conversations about multi-streaming and, multiple cams. Like, if multi-streaming feels like something that you want to start pursuing in 2025, it's just going to take a little bit more work and planning. And as DC mentioned, if you're doing multiple aspect streams or multiple channel streams, I know I've seen some people who stream multiple streams to YouTube, but purely one is their like 4K stream, and then the others are like the normal streams. So you have to set that up every time. But now Moonbeam will give you a stream key, and that's the magic word. If the platform says you have a stream key, you're good to go with anything. So the ADA multi-stream plugin is your best bet.
Oh, another thing we're talking about multi-streaming to TikTok, and I just thought this. TikTok makes it hard to stream to, because you need a key. But the stream elements thing we talked about, the promise is that they can bypass that need for a stream key because TikTok doesn't hand those out. They hand them out to only a few people, but there's ways around it until TikTok decides to close the loop.
Right. Currently on TikTok, if you want to go live, you can immediately usually do it through the app on mobile. Like, that's just hold the phone up and do the thing and you're live. It's when you want to try and do it from another computer that they were doing stream keys, then they weren't. Now you have to be over a certain bunch of metrics to get one, and they're still very weird about it. Sometimes it changes each time. It's not fun. So I've never tried to roll it in. Also, I have no idea. Like, I personally can't really imagine like gaming content live streaming on TikTok.
Yeah, no.
But you know, I get that there's an audience for it, so it's fine.
Yeah. And what I wanted to say just left my brain. Yeah.
If we move on to the next topic, it'll probably come back.
Okay, sure. Let's move on. We'll edit that out. I'm not going to edit any of this. So next up, we were talking about TTRPG kind of things, and how Moonbeam was set up, and there are various world building programs out there, and I came across one the other day. Actually, it came across my Facebook feed as an ad, and I was curious enough to click it. And it's called Amsel Suite, and it's 2 programs. You pay one price. It works out to about $50 US. It stays local on your machine. There's no cloud, one-time price, no subscription. And one is for kind of your world and lore, and then the other one is for your gaming sessions. And that's the idea. And the way this works is you create templates, which is weird. You got to create these templates first, at least right now, because they're just out of their Kickstarter, like maybe a month or 2 ago. So
Oh wow.
they're still building this, right? This is like 1.0, our first, hey, we're good with putting this out. So this is a relatively new thing. And you create a template. And what's nice about this is as you create, you put blocks on your screen, and you can change their size and put them anywhere, which is great for however your mind works. Like, I need certain information over here and over here. I need it to look like this column, or I need it to be in this little square here. And you do that. You create the template. Then when you go to fill in the information, it's another couple clicks. But then you go, okay, load this template that I set up for inventory, or for characters, or for world lore, whatever. Just pick and choose that template that you just built for it, and you save it. And each thing, I forget what they call them, but each program has its own little name to it. So there's tome for storytelling and lore for world building. And so the file names are .tome and .lore when you save them, and they just save to your machine. I have them saving to the cloud, so if I put this program on another computer, I can just go to that cloud and go, okay, get me this, and I can continue to work on it and have it, upload to the cloud, or it can stay there until I can upload to the cloud later. Maybe I just don't have the internet, and I got it just enough to download what I was currently doing, and then I gotta wait to upload it again. But it's handy. There's promise here. I really like the way I can just set up how I want the page to look. That's the biggest thing about this, I think. There's a lot I want to see out of it still, so hopefully that's coming. But right now, just being able to make those boxes however your mind forms them is very handy.
Yeah, I'm seeing what I really like is their internal metadata. Being like it, seeing this and creating an entry on like an NPC, but you can also kind of add tags that may have to do with that NPC in their description. Then in other entries, you can just reference the name of that NPC and it would pop into your world building. It would also probably pop into your game, and the most important thing is players would be able to then see what information you want them to see about something, so you don't necessarily have to explain who somebody is every time. You can just be like, oh yeah, you know who this is by this. I like that. So there's a lot of when you are building a world for a short thing or a long campaign, you yourself may forget what you've actually said is a thing. So you have your own tags. You're able to tag something, whether it's magic, whether it's regional, whether it's history, events, things like that. So it's nice. It also reminds me of script writing systems. Like when I'm looking at their pages, it looks like a script writing system. So it's very cool. It's very cool to see it used for this kind of purpose.
Yeah, it like I said, it caught my interest, and I hope that as we go into 2025, they keep adding stuff, so it's like a solid recommend. Right now, I'm like, this is cool, but I want to see a little more before I go, hey, you should use this thing. Because right now, I'm still using Legend Keeper, which is my favorite world building tool right now. But just being offline and the way it worked kind of appealed to me, so I picked it up, and yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's also a huge plus. The fact that, I've seen posts on social media about people remembering when you could just buy a program and that was it. It didn't have to live online. You didn't have to have a subscription for it. You only downloaded a patch when you needed it. So it's nice that it is a local client that you can, transfer between your own machines. And that's it. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else around world building or anything other than, because we're going to get into the future.
Oh, speaking of world building.
What do we want to see in the future? So, upcoming in regards to tech, because I know there's a lot of other areas we want to see things in that we don't have time to cover here, nor is the thrust of this channel. Immediately coming up in early January, is the Consumer Electronics Show 2025, and there's an article in Tech Radar about it and what they're kind of expecting to see out of it, and it's amazing reading about these because you get a lot of concepts and things that may never make it into production, but you get a lot of neat, weird stuff.
I have been fortunate once in my life to be able to go to CES. And it was very much like a kid going to Willy Wonka's factory. It was an amazing experience. But if I tried to lock down anything that I absolutely saw make it to market, I would struggle. Now, that was the year of like flat screen TVs, but it was also the year of curved TVs, which still aren't quite there. So yeah, CES is amazing. But yeah, it really is like, well, we're kind of hoping that this may become a thing. I laugh because the article references the little AI pin. It doesn't actually reference it by link or name, but it references because it talks about the fact that everybody is just saying artificial intelligence is going to somehow play a factor in our device, but nobody really understands, one, what that means, and two, again, from a consumer perspective, how are you actually going to sell me on a product that has AI in it? Like, what's it really going to do? So yeah, it's fabulous to see like, oh yeah, this is coming in. I locked in on the graphics cards, which I have a friend who always understands like graphics and GPUs. So I'm definitely going to ask like, does any of this make sense?
And yeah, so after CES happens, going to try to narrow down the list of all the things to apply to more to what we talk about here. If there's cameras, or if it goes in that streaming tech realm, or kind of producing a show type of thing, we'll take a look at that, and I'll probably post another article of here's everything announced. And you can read it all if you want to, but we're going to more or less focus on these things because otherwise we'll be here all day.
I will mention like our next note is also like the big, I did a little more research and I realized like what a big deal this is. That at CES is going to be the announcement for a new standard like the next standard for HDMI, and that like the fact that they're kind of like, yeah, we're going to announce it at CES. So it's going to be, it's essentially going to, it's going to affect your speed of data transfer. It's going to imply that larger resolutions can be transmitted. The connector at least is going to be backwards compatible, but nobody really talks about whether the new standards of transmission will be like what those will do for TVs. And I was telling DC before the call, like, I'm just very excited because the cable won't change and the port won't change. So, you know, like, it's like now finally being excited about USB-C. Like, hey, is this going to stay this shape forever? You're not going to change it on us again, please? Because this would be great if it just stays like this forever, please.
Yeah, so you won't need to change your devices. Just get a new cable, which will be far cheaper than anything else.
Exactly.
So yeah, but the cable's going to look the same. It's going to be the same port. It's just going to be faster. And now that we're getting into HDMI 2.2, we can also kind of pair this with other ideas like AV1, which is a video and audio standard coming out that should make transmission of video and audio much smaller, so that if you used to be able to only do a 720p stream send out, you should be able to now do a 1080p stream. There are some things that do AV1, but it's not adopted enough yet by enough big things to make it practical for anyone to really use. But there are some use cases emerging. And so you pair this with that, and you get some interesting data throughputs that couldn't have happened before. You get some interesting speeds going on amongst everything.
Yeah.
Come here, kitty.
I forgot about AV1. I need to watch more of the like, you know, EPOS Fox and like the Tech Folks streams about that. But yeah, it's making, you know, anything, even something like this that feels weirdly unrelated to streaming, although I have a DSLR that is connected through a cam link via HDMI to my machine. Like, if that signal is able to come in even better or crisper, or it allows us to do more effects so we can actually make our camera look more cinematic than just like video slapped on the screen kind of thing, it would be lovely to see that if we also don't get any degradation in resource use on our side. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that. Oh, there she is.
Yeah. Sorry. That's why I was leaning over and stuff in my chair, is because Kitty came in. This is Hannah, everybody.
Oh, we usually don't get a little boop. Look at that.
Yeah. She'll be with us
The
for a few
queen
seconds.
has arrived. I think that's what we'll have to do. We'll have to schedule a Tech Friday for Best Pet Tech for 2025.
Yeah. Okay, you ready to get down? All right. He put you down so you hurt yourself.
Oh.
So, don't eat the green screen.
And that delicious, delicious green screen.
Oh, bye. She's done with me. Just like, I'm done.
But I do, you know, as a watcher and I guess now returning guest, I don't know why, but okay. On Tech Friday, I do look forward to seeing like these pieces announced next year. And again, your perspective on, oh, hey, this piece of tech was announced. Is this something that would apply to streaming, or is it just a cool tech thing? Like, so I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, I did want to go back to microphones real quick. If you are looking for a microphone, go to YouTube, type in the name of the microphone. I guarantee someone did a video of how it sounds. And just listen to them and figure out if your ears like it or not. Because it's very subjective. And don't buy into anyone telling you that USB mics are not as good as XLR mics. Because you can get very, very good USB mics for a few years now. I think this has been true. It used to be, yes, I would agree that XLR were better, but now, yeah, you get great sounding USB mics.
I'll also add that if you have a USB mic, DC mentioned Logitech Mixline earlier. The Logitech G Hub, the way that users are able to share profiles with each other, and the profiles now include what your keyboard looks like, how your mouse works, and it also includes how your USB mic processes audio. So somebody out there may have already come up with, like, if you're looking for, if you think it sounds not smooth enough, or you're actually looking for a different kind of thing, you may be able to find somebody out there who actually already has an audio settings profile that you can just grab and import into yours. I am the worst at setting up VSTs, so I generally look for presets if I can, or I look for VSTs that have we'll record a few minutes of you talking and then we'll try and adjust it based on that. But I'm also the worst. I'm the worst at adjusting this thing. It's just pretty and sits in front of me. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I got this mic because I like the way it sounds. I like what it does to my voice. And since I already had the Rodecaster Duo, I'm like, well, this just sounds great. Now put it into a thing that has presets already for the mic. So,
right?
And yes, Rex, you have a great voice. So
it's true. It's very true.
Great. All right. Before we go into little extra bits, we have time yet to cover these, I think.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on anything we've talked about, or anything you're looking forward to?
I think, I think, again, I'm thinking about the audio. I'm thinking about the wireless mics. I feel weird because I have only just really started, like, I do a daily, well, okay, I don't do a daily because I've been sick, but I usually do like a daily workout or walk video, and I haven't really thought about it, but it's because of those videos that I got to, like, the magic number on TikTok where you can, like, get a stream key or put URLs in. So I'm mostly thinking about the audio on like a little microphone here and there, or doing other things. Once again, I'm keeping an eye on the courts. Like, TikTok in the US may not exist after mid-January, so
right.
all of this could be for naught. But I'm really curious about audio, because that is, as time and time again, it feels like that's the most important thing. And if you're able to, it's easy to get good video. It is. These little things in our hands, in addition to cameras, make it easy to get great video, but your audio may suck. So I'm very curious about that. And yeah, like, I'm waiting, when Moonbeam enters, like, people available to stream on it, I'm interested to see how it goes, because I'm mostly thinking about audiences and inertia, and the fact that you're used to a platform. Even if you don't like the platform, you're used to it. So are you able to shift viewers to something else? And will the promise of 100% of what you give me goes to me? That's a huge motivator. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Good. All right. So we have some little extra things. We'll probably go a little bit over time just to cover some things, but I know, shocking that when we're on, we would go over time.
Yeah, over time, yeah.
So this is extra material that we both came up with. First thing, StreamerBot, the bot I told I like, celebrated only its 3rd birthday in August, and they had a massive streamer celebration. You could go to streamers and see all the things, and they made things during that birthday stream. And now they put out the link in chat now, a starter pack that features all of those things that the separate streamers made. And StreamerBot makes it so easy. You just import the code and into it, and it pops up, and they have really good instructions on how to set these things up to make them work for you. Just read along, especially in the starter pack. Most of the people there, I've used plugins before, and they do excellent instructions. Sometimes you'll find a thing, and it's like, I don't quite still understand how this works, but some of the people there are really good with instructions. And so, if you want a lot of functionality in StreamerBot without having to figure out how to all code it yourself, check out that starter pack.
Just going through the starter pack and looking, there is a death counter for StreamerBot, which a lot of people tend to use, especially if you're a Souls-like player. A big one is the video shoutouts and the BRB clip player. A lot of people use those. But, birthday shoutouts. That's so cute. That's nice. These are really great. And the best thing with StreamerBot, if you use it, is you import it. You get a file, or you get a long string of text that just contains all the information for these things. It imports it right into your actions. And it will create, if it needs to create things that are also associated with it, like commands, and it brings them all in disabled. So it doesn't have them turned on. So you're able to just pull it all in, and then later when you have time to be like, oh, okay, do I want this one on or off? But I do remember watching the raid train, and it was really cool. Not just people celebrating it, but yeah, people like making stuff and giving all kinds of advice. Which actually, let me grab the YouTube playlist here. You can see the whole playlist there. It was a lot of fun. And as somebody who, I'm already a coder for my day job, but as I've mentioned on social media, bots make you learn how to code other languages, which I think is just rude, first off. But if you want to get the most out of them, you have to learn just enough C# to be able to use StreamerBot. Not too much, but just enough.
Just enough.
And yeah, StreamerBot just, I don't, because I'm always worried that something will vanish or go away. Like, what did I use before? Was it not Stream Elements? Streamlabs chatbot. Like it's still out there and it still works, but it is no longer supported. So I don't put too many eggs in the basket, but it does allow me to do things, especially with its ability to connect to OBS and do specific actions. Its ability to act as a multi-platform bot that allows me to send separate things to separate platforms. It's really great. And I love just having an idea, sitting down and mapping it out, and then realizing, yeah, I can make StreamerBot do that. It's great.
Yeah. And one of our final things here is a list that Brian found about, what is this, streaming for, it was just an overview of tech, right?
Yeah, so it's like, I actually put a note that DC has talked about a lot of these over the past year on Tech Friday. But if you're looking, it was actually a best for 2024 that was made at the end of the year, although it's Games Radar, so I'm willing to bet that they have updated this every single month because, of course, they have. But yeah, if you want to look at other options for microphones, mixers, capture cards, webcams, accessories, and even a little bit of how-to, it's a great article. If you have something and you're like, oh, I'd like to update, like the Shure MV7 Plus is like their #1 microphone for streamers, and it is a USB or XLR, so it has the option. It's nice. But it has a lot of both affordable and out of pocket. Oh, I didn't know Razer had a stream controller.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's not a stream deck, so
Yeah. Moving on, like right underneath it is the Rodecaster Duo. So, like there you go. But yeah, it's just one of those, like I was looking for, okay, did anybody cover, now that we are in December 2024, what, again, if somebody says, hey, I'd like to get into streaming, what do you suggest? I always look for good lists of middle of the road and not super expensive, but some people have money to spend and good for them. But I realized when I was going through the list is that, yeah, these are things that DC has talked about already. Like, so just, do you make a Tech Friday playlist?
There is a Tech Friday playlist on YouTube.
So go to the Tech Friday playlist.
Yep, and see most of them when I get around to editing them and putting them up there. Otherwise, if you do want to see all the Tech Fridays, there's a playlist called live streams, and they're all in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's the only thing about YouTube live versus not is that the live stuff, which still stays on YouTube forever, but it's on a different tab, so it's all there. But usually it's better to wait for the edited version because, you know, it's a little bit, you know, cleaned up.
Yeah. All right. And then I got a thing I wanted to do an unboxing of.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So thank you again to the entire community that helped out in getting this. I appreciate it. But it came today just before we started stream, so I haven't had a chance to unlock it. So JD Lady, I am now with you in the books Palma 2 ownership. Look, it's still in its plastic.
Oh, it's so compact.
Yeah,
Like
it feels good.
I mean, I got my Kindle, and that is like,
Yeah.
oh, don't look at that list.
Don't look at
that. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll be trying this out, and we'll talk about it on probably the next Tech Friday, because then I'll have had like a solid week with it or so. And then, yeah, and it comes with this box too, which I'm guessing is power charging cable of some kind, and a little pin there for probably a SD card or something. I don't know, but there's a little pin there. And instructions. The important instructions
no one's reading those.
Yeah, I know.
You're not reading those.
Not reading those, and then it's just the box. So yeah, thank you everybody for making this possible. It was something I just wouldn't be able to have gotten on my own. So thank you. I really appreciate that, and this came a lot sooner than I expected. So yay. I'll try that out.
New tech live on a Tech Friday.
Yeah, new tech live on. All right. We will kind of talk through this ad break here before we wrap up. Yeah. So, anything else you're looking forward to in 2025, or?
I think for 2025, I am hoping that we, as streamers, get a little more transparency and information from the platforms. I would love to know, Twitch especially, I would love to know what their vision is for 2025. I've heard that they are looking at a lot more AI-based things, but there isn't a lot of detail on what those AI-based things are. So I think in terms of a lot of people who still are using streaming for hopefully an income, or at the very least a supplementary income, it's more important for us all as freelancers / entrepreneurs to know, like, hey, what's the mood of the platform? What should we be ready for? What is your aim? What's your goal? And it feels like we get left out of those conversations a lot. So I'm hoping for streaming that will happen. I don't know. Currently it feels like the barriers to streaming have lowered significantly. So I could see people making it easier to go online and stream, but that does feel like a kind of thing that would be a proprietary application versus OBS, which, you know, everyone should learn OBS. Mm-hmm. Learn OBS. It's good for you. So yeah, I'd like to see streaming as a whole sort of feel more hopeful for creators. The creator economy, the influencer economy, company sentiment around influencers is down. So if you're not one of the top 1% of streamers or influencers, you're not getting any play. And yeah, that's what I'd like for 2025. In terms of tech, it's funny because I look around, I'm like, what would I replace? What would I upgrade? My camera. So yeah. I may be looking for an upgrade in mirrorless cameras for 2025 to see if prices come down on really good brands, or if they introduce something else that's aimed at streaming.
Yeah, that'd be great. I right now use the Elgato Basecam Pro, I think you call it. And I really like it. And again, I can adjust it with all the knobs. I get to touch many knobs to make things happen. So
nice.
It's great for me. Plus, it works with prompter, and I can just, pretend I'm looking forward.
If I ever get prompter, it's all over. I I will happily do ad reads forever if somebody gets me prompter, and I'm probably going to have to afford to pay for it. So, listen.
And I looked it up. The you can put the OBSBot Tiny 2 in the back of a prompter as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's great. But I think one of the things I'm looking forward to in technology, and Springleaf was in a couple weeks ago asking this about what tech I was kind of looking forward to, and I think mini PCs is a market that has a lot of growth potential
Ooh.
right now.
You have
They,
talked about mini PCs before, yeah.
yeah, they're very powerful right now, and I think as time goes on, that's only going to increase because that's typically how we see things work, right? Um, complex computer stuff gets smaller and smaller, and these are going to be great things to carry around or move around, or possibly even support streams with these tiny boxes, and you no longer have to get a huge thing, depending what you're streaming. You know,
I mean, they talk about there's still talk of dual PC streaming. And, you know, even if you had a mini PC that was able to handle all of the transmitting work. So you only have to build your gaming PC as a gaming PC. You don't have to worry about building your gaming PC as a miniature television production studio. So it would be nice to use a mini PC for the dual PC setup. But also, yeah, it would just be cool to have on the road. And, you know, like I think we both have MacBooks, which stream fairly well.
Yeah.
They do. Even over Wi-Fi. Like, it feels like sometimes my MacBook over Wi-Fi is a little better than my Windows machine over a hardwired Ethernet connection, which blows my mind. But M2 chips are apparently magical, so yay. But it'd be lovely to have on the road to be like, well, yeah, like the hotel has good Wi-Fi, or I've brought my own transmitter and I've loaded up enough time on it to just do a normal stream from anywhere. Mini PCs, though, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think if there's one place where the PC market can kind of go, I think mini PCs is a good direction, and I can see where tablets are kind of waning down and everything else is kind of standard, but I think mini PCs probably have the best use case going forward.
I wonder if, and this is a big if, because I think about the way that people interact with devices, and people still generally go back to having a laptop or a computer for the majority of their stuff. And I'm now wondering if we're going to start seeing the TVs with mini PCs, or home, like the wireless frames, or even possibly a digital assistant. But if you had a mini PC, you would just connect it to a screen. That's the kind of thing I'm wondering. Because again, it would kind of make that extra home consumer good a little better. Even if we still ask, like, do we need PCs and all of these things? But nobody asked if we needed AI and all of these things, and it's in there. So,
Right.
Why not?
Just throw it in as a treat. A little noms for your tech.
Yeah.
Other things I'm looking forward to, just the technology. Like, I am looking forward to what Moonbeam does, and Amsel Suite, and even the Lincoln Bio site I've used, because they're, just like 1 year old. Doris, that
Yeah.
Theo, I'm affiliate for them, so I talk about them all the time. And seeing where these platforms go, oh, hey, there's my affiliate code. Look at that. It's like I have a command for it. Thank you. And also what I like about things like Moonbeam and Doris and the Amsel Suite is that these are small teams. Like, Doris has 6 people, I think, that work in the company. Amsel has 2 leads. Moonbeam is a handful of people. And so it's nice to see these little companies make really cool things for us to use. instead of all the big companies just coming in and,
I mean, it speaks to ingenuity, it speaks to flexibility, and we are not used to seeing these small teams actually have something that lasts, and all of them have built something that is usable right now, that is good. And yeah, like hopefully it will continue to grow. Especially for, like the Doris is something that a lot of creators could have used. We were all using Card or Linktree or similar, but Doris giving you more control without, again, like I have my own domain, but I do web development and application development for a living, so I know how to manage all of that stuff. But you don't need to know a ton of stuff to be able to have what looks like a nice website for your media. Nope, wait, media kit. That was the word. Media kit. For your media kit, for your list of links, you want a QR code that goes somewhere, you're good to go. So I like that. And yeah, I think seeing Moonbeam continue to develop from here on out will be good. If I were them, I would be shopping around to an actual play to say, like, we're going to premiere this on Moonbeam. I think that will be nice. But if they're going to do that, then they'd better pay them.
Yeah. Do the thing.
Also call me, because I'm not currently in anything right now. So
like, we can talk about rates. And another company I want to mention is the people who are doing Meld over at Meld Studios.
Oh, yes.
They are, so instead of OBS, now there are a lot of other programs. I've tried quite a few that do stuff like OBS does, and none of them quite hit right. But Meld, still in beta, does, and a few more things I might consider. How much of OBS do I really need? Because Meld is providing a pretty good experience. And if you want to get into the beta right now, you can sign up for it, and they're letting more people in all the time. But again, small studio, and even OBS is technically a whole group of volunteers.
Yeah.
Just doing it. But if some reason OBS doesn't hit right, take a look at Meld, because I think that's another one.
Meld feels like it sits right in that very nice place of OBS feels like too many bells and whistles for you, but maybe you don't want to use Streamlabs. I think they just call it Streamlabs now, right? They don't call it Streamlabs OBS anymore.
Yeah, it's just Streamlabs. Yeah.
But if you don't want to use Streamlabs, you don't want to use any of like the native streaming, Meld sits right in that nice place of it just works. Things feel the way they should when you're trying to add elements or add effects to your site. So if you've ever used Streamlabs OBS or Streamlabs, Meld is right there. If you're just not ready to make that leap to making OBS do, because OBS can do a lot. It also is very easy to run OBS doing just what it needs to do. But Meld looked very user-friendly when you use it on stream. Obviously being able to do the cool stuff is nice. I think the main thing with that is, again, they'll need to start working and integrating with the other things that we use, and then it will seamlessly fit. And yeah, again, low barriers to streaming is what I think we all want.
Yeah. And Meld has multi-stream support baked in now.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
That was one of the recent updates. And you can do the Twitch VOD track like you can do in OBS. And
shots fired. Okay.
Yeah, and they offer VST support. VST 3
Oh,
support.
crap. That's
well.
right. You did say they offered VST support. That's going to be the big thing. So I think, when Meld gets stronger, we're going to see... we're going to start seeing the tutorials written, if you're in OBS or if you're in Meld, because that'll be nice.
Yeah. And so it's great that we're in a time where small companies like this, a few dedicated people where you can kind of feel their passion for the thing. If you look at their Discord or how they post online and make these amazing tools that just a few years ago we could have never have done. And it's really fantastic, and I'm hoping to see more of that kind of stuff because it's just neat to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, any last thoughts? We'll probably wrap up here if there's no questions in chat.
Not really. I think we've covered so many things.
Yeah.
I just really feel like that I think what I'm noticing about my feelings for 2025 is that I do not have any particular excitement for stuff. So we've not seen there's not been a lot of whispers and like slowly rolling out stuff. So I'm ready for 2025 to surprise me. And I want to see things that make it easier to stream. I want to see things that make streaming more accessible for everyone. And I'd love to see, platforms doing the work because, again, as you say, like the software is run by small teams or OBS, which is a legion of volunteers. It'd be nice to see platforms kind of step in, although I know that platform stepping in means a little bit of proprietary. I guess the other thing is I would love to see, streaming become profitable for all creators and not just the ones at the top. At the top. If anyone has seen like the top 30 streamers of 2024 lists and you only recognize one or two names in them, like I felt so old when I saw that because I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, but they're apparently the top people doing this. Okay, sure. All right. Cool.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, wait, I haven't heard of any of these people somehow. I mean, clearly they're good at what they do because they're the top streamers. But seeing some of those lists are like, I don't know, And like you, I hope we can get more people a little more money than what has been coming in and build it. And that's a lot of the reason I do these Tech Fridays is so that you have a basis to go off of. That's why I do the talks at conventions and everything. So you're kind of prepared to know this stuff and, you can take it wherever you want from there and launch yourself into things unimagined.
Do you need to get the imagination like the
right? Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to 2025 surprising me, and I've only added one more convention to my normal yearly thing. I don't really plan on going to TwitchCon. If there's a local streamer based convention, I'd love to do that. But, I feel like there's not a lot. I think what I don't feel like is there's not a lot more to tell people about streaming and how to stream. It's like, do it in a way that you have fun and it's entertaining. And if you're able to make some money off of it, congratulations. There's not a whole lot else to it other than that. It's just making the tools easy to use so that you can do that. And inexpensive, definitely inexpensive.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap up with that. Thank you for being on. Urban Bohemian, tell people where they can find you and all the things you got coming up.
I am Brian, aka Urban Bohemian. I mostly am on Twitch at twitch.tv/Urban Bohemian. You can catch me weekend mornings, so today's Friday, right? Mm-hmm. We're in the meaningless time. But tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday morning, I'll be playing in the morning on Twitch. And I'll be actually streaming on New Year's Eve, so do stop in. We will not be streaming until midnight unless, somebody gives me money for that, because no. Let's see. I don't currently have any games or charity streams coming up. So if you're out there and you want a lovely TTRPG performer for something, by all means, give me a call. And you can next find me in person at MagicCon Chicago, which is happening in late February. I'll be there learning all about this magic stuff, and there may be something else in store, which I will say stay tuned to my socials to get a little more information on that as we approach February.
Excellent. And I have been your host for today. I'm DC. You can find me all the places, DC Lasair. Go to dclasair.com. And I will once again plug Doris because I am an affiliate again. So there's a bunch of free stuff you can do. It's a link in bio site. They have blogs. They have link shortening. A lot of cool stuff. And if you go there and use my affiliate code, you like what you see, use DC Lasair and save yourself 30% off for 3 months. And I, as an affiliate, I do get a little bit of that subscription for a while. So just note that as well. It's another way you can support me. But yeah. Also, I will be at MagicCon Chicago. I'm pretty sure. So I got some details to iron out yet, but it looks like I'll be there. And so if you're going to be there, you get to see me and Brian in 3D. I mean, whole extra dimension.
I'm
How can
not
you pass that
promising
up?
3D. I am only willing right now at this point to agree to 2D. So 3D is an upcharge. You got to have the premium package of seeing me to get 3D.
We'll give you a QR code so you can get a discount. Yeah, so I'll be back next Friday with another Tech Friday. We will talk about CES 2025, all the weird stuff, and then all the stuff that relates to what we're doing here. And of course, there'll be whatever TTRPG news you can come up with. I will be back Monday. Yeah, Monday. I'll be right here with a video game. I think I haven't finished The Legend of Zelda, the latest one, the Echoes of Wisdom. So I have to finish that yet because Dragon Age came out and I stopped because Dragon Age. But so I'll probably go through more of that on Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's generally my schedule, Monday through Friday. Wednesdays are Gunpla. So I go over there to my other desk and build Gunpla on Wednesdays. Friday is Tech Friday, where you can come in with questions, ask me. And if I'm going to plug a thing, that I'm just going to copy Brian at this point. But if you are hiring, I'm a pretty good producer of TTRPG actual plays. So
Pretty good. Okay, can we not with that pretty good stuff? I had to stop myself from swearing because it's going out on YouTube. DC Lasair was our producer for the final, final season, but also several final seasons of Rivals of Waterdeep, and has been a professional, easy to work with, easy to deal with producer that allows the cast to sit back, relax, focus on the game, and know that the product that goes out to stream is going to be good. So, yes, if you are looking to hire somebody, great. Also, if you're looking to book time to get a session of what do they call it when you tell someone how to do stuff? I don't know, mentoring or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know,
teaching.
get some rates for those and put those on your Ko-Fi. But yeah, you should definitely reach out because there is a lot of good knowledge, and DC has said he just wants everybody to be able to do this thing well and have fun and without stress, and he's very good at it.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Also, hire Urban Bohemian for everybody because he's great. So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. We have gone a little longer as we are wont to do every time I have Urban Bohemian on.
That's true.
So I
I'm gonna
really
go. I'm
appreciate
gonna go
Brian.
eat and get bubbly after this.
Yeah.
It's almost New Year's. I got bottles in the fridge and snacks, so I'm good to go.
Yay, snacks. And I gotta go have dinner because between lunch and now I've just had a cookie. So I should probably have a real meal. But I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here. Just doing that, being in here, the follows, the retweets, the whatever Blue Sky calls the reposting things. viewing, taking the time to hit the like buttons and go to our links is absolutely fantastic. That's invaluable support. And if you can support financially, we both have multiple ways to do that: Ko-Fis, Patreons, Twitch streams. Look into those. Thank you all once again for making it possible for me to get the books Palma 2. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. You've all been spectacular, and well, Tech Friday will be back in the new year. I'll be back on Monday. Go watch Urban Bohemian streams over the weekend because you'll like yourself more. You just watch his streams and you feel better. Your day has brightened considerably.
Oh shucks, thank you.
So
That's very kind.
go check out Brian. And yeah, have a fantastic weekend. And thank you all again for being here. I'm going to refresh my stream to see who we can go on a raid to.
Oh yay!
Do you have anyone that we could?
I can take a look and see who's online
Okay.
on my following list.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think some of us, we can't say. I mean, we can definitely say have a happy and safe New Year. It's just that some of us will see you before the New Year, so we can't say like see you next year, like everybody at work loves to do when you leave and you're about to head out. Let's see here. I think I see the same face. I probably have the same names as you, so I trust your leading us thing.
All right.
I flubbed that completely. But yeah.
Well, I see that Jeff is on, so I think we'll go raid Jeff.
Okie dokie.
And fantastic streamer. Let's see, what is he doing? Just chatting right now. Let me type it in correctly because we'll go over there. And yeah, thanks again. Have a fabulous weekend. Thanks once again to Brian for being here and taking the time out. Really appreciate that. It's always wonderful to have you. And yeah, have a great weekend. See you Monday and in Herb stream, tomorrow. So be there.
It's early. It's fine. Stay in bed, but also put me up in your browser so I get that view. But yeah.
All right. See y'all later.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay tuned for the raid.